What is happening in Nairobi, this horrible, tragic incident there, is a wake-up call. It's a grim reminder, really, of what people have known for a long time, which is that the terrorism that is taking hold in Somalia poses a threat to the region, it poses a threat internationally, and it's one which we need to tackle.
Now, you have said there are some 5,000 members of al-Shabaab. What can be done to control them and to help Somalia, a country that's already suffering from decades of conflict?
Yeah, the numbers are not enormous in some ways, although, of course, there are only estimates, and estimates vary, but around 5,000 seems to be the likely figure. I think a campaign against al-Shabaab needs to have at least three dimensions. It needs to be military, definitely, and we need extra resources for the African Union forces, AMISOM, in order to achieve that. It needs also to be political and practical as well. I talk about a three-dimensional campaign, but this is something which is absolutely essential and one which we cannot neglect, or we neglect at our peril, as we see today.
So what concretely does that mean? What practically needs to be done?
The biggest requirement at the moment is extra resources for the African Union. This is the AMISOM forces, some 17,000 in the country, who've done a great job. They've secured Mogadishu from al-Shabaab. They've taken possession of several other cities as well. But they are overstretched now, and they're operating in a country nearly the size of Afghanistan without a single military helicopter. They desperately need helicopters. They desperately need armored vehicles as well.
Mr. Kay, what about al-Shabaab's links to al-Qaeda? How deep do they go?
They are certainly deep, and the organization has sworn its loyalty to al-Qaeda's second in command last year, and this is something which is ideological. It is also likely to be practical in terms of training and in terms of information and technology transfer as well, and personnel too. There is a sort of fluid movement of some international jihadists.
Now, you mentioned these international jihadists, and we are getting conflicting reports that perhaps some of those militants in the mall now are indeed international. What are your thoughts on that? Could there be some foreign elements there in this attack now that's been given by al-Shabaab?
Obviously, we'll have to wait and see what the final conclusion is and the final sort of results in the investigation. I think it's entirely plausible. Certainly, the al-Shabaab have foreign fighters amongst them in Somalia, and some have come from the UK, some have come from the United States and other countries as well. So if this is an attack by al-Shabaab based out of Somalia, it is quite possible also that there will be internationals involved there.